This is exactly why I deleted my fucking Twitter, because Sergey Lavrov is still on here, allowed to post Soviet disinformation. I'm gonna break this down because I don't want to talk about this forever because it's stupid as fuck. One, yes, Azov is Nazis. They said they're gonna lead the lead the Ubermensch to destroy the Ubermensch. But that was in context to Russia being the Untermensch, right? Not all Slavic people, right? So that's a nuanced take to the seven root race theory. If you really want my take on it, that's a nuanced take, and I pretty much subscribe to that take. I do think some people in the Russian country are Untermensch, but I also think this is not just like a principle just for Russia. I think that like there's plenty of people that are controlled by the globalists and the Zionist elite, and it's because of this false teaching of like, oh, Christians got to worship like the Jews and shit. And so the thing is that Jesus is the high priest, and the law was fulfilled through Jesus Christ. So we don't have to worship Jewish people. In fact, in the Bible, it says, with the first place they were called Christians, Paul, a Jewish person who was a criminal who converted after persecuting Christians, he knew the Jesus's teaching better than Peter, who is supposed to be the rock. His name Petros, Peter being the rock, because Jesus Christ is the foundation. And he said, build my church on a real foundation after I leave. That's what Jesus said to Peter. Peter, he was in Antioch. Despite him being the foundation, he was wrong at Antioch. This is not disputed. This is in the story. He was wrong in Antioch because he was sitting with the Jewish elders at the table and not allowing the Gentiles into the fold. He would not sit with the Gentile people. And this is an exact teaching that you can apply to modern day Israel, where they will not sit with the Gentiles. They tell us to do all this stuff, blah, 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 blah. They do not sit with the Gentiles. They persecute Palestinian people who are originally from Palestine. And it's a lot of things. There's parallels. You can see, oh, I don't know if it's true or not because there's a lot of propaganda. Oh, they're using white phosphorus in Ukraine. They've been using white phosphorus on Palestinian people. And so you can break this down any way you want. There's plenty of parallels that there's human rights abuses by the Israeli state against the Palestinian people who protect the Christian churches. In Israel, they trashed the first Christian church of Jerusalem, right? And so the Greek Orthodox Church tried to take care of it, but they graffiti, the Jews graffiti, they throw trash in it in Jerusalem. How are they maintaining the Holy Land for Christians? Why is there an alliance between us and them when they don't take care of our first Christian churches, our historical sites inside of Israel? So that whole premise that Putin lives by, and that Zelensky and the Zionists and the Judeo-Christian John Hagee figures in America, evangelicals, they have a misinterpretation. We're not supposed to sit with the Jews. We're supposed to sit with the Gentiles and convert all people to Christianity. And so this is why I don't subscribe to this bullshit, Russian church. I don't subscribe to this shit, because you can see they ban Russian disinformation. What's still going on? They're allowed to promote Russian disinformation. Hitler was Jewish. Oh, you want me to believe some AOL 2.0 conspiracy? That conspiracy has been on the internet since AOL 2.0. I read conspiracies. You're going to put this propaganda out there to conspiracy theorists who have heard about this in 2001. Okay? And so, that's why Russia is our enemy, because they're not for white people, and they're not even for the truth, and they're not even for Christians, and they're not even for whatever they claim, brothers or Slavic people or all that shit. They're not even for that. They're for the Russian people. They're for the KGB, the Orthodox Church. And so they worship the Holy Sepulchre. That's why they're always praising Israel and shit like that. What happened at the Holy Sepulchre this year? Well, they wouldn't allow Christians to worship, right? Oh, you thought it was just Palestinians? Oh, all Palestinians are Muslim? That's why Palestinians have been ethnically cleansed from Israel since the early 1900s. and nobody protects their churches. The priests over there get abused by Jews. The priests of churches in the Holy Land of Palestine and Israel get abused by the Israeli government. And so, you're going to tell me some myth? Adolf Hitler, oh, his grandfather was Adolf Schuckelgruber. Who cares if his uncle or whatever? Oh, his great-grandfather was Adolf Scheckelgruber. Who cares, right? Scheckelgruber. Who cares? If you believe in Christianity, which I believe he did, for the most part, and then he did this, pagan bullshit with the Roman Empire aesthetic of uniting an empire. All Freemasons unite an empire by syncretic teachings of, oh, we want to conquer East Asia. Let's mix Christianity with Buddhism and Taoism. And that's how we'll do this unification church of China. That's bullshit. That's not real. And so people who do that are bad people, because syncretic religion is not real. It's all in the Bible. It shows you all the different various religions that were around at the time. And even Paul, he goes to Greece and he learns their philosophy. He debunks their philosophy in their language to prove a point, to bring them to Christ, that their shit is false and his shit is real. And so that's the bigger problem. The bigger problem is that as a Christian, I cannot speak about the Bible or my views that pertain to the Bible in politics or the public sphere of social media. But Sergey Lavrov can openly be covered by all the news outlets, all the journalists on Twitter with verified check marks, saying Hitler was Jewish. No proof whatsoever. And what does that mean at all? It means nothing. And yes, Sergey Lavrov, Jewish people can be anti-Semitic, just like the ADL, who messes up Jewish-American relations with their false Pavel Fuchs style fake, anti-Semitism's on the rise. You know where it's on the rise? In New York, where you're gentrifying black people. Okay? That has nothing to do with white people speaking their mind about the Bible and using that in context to politics and saying, hey, also, if you're like, Ben Gurion was the first president of Israel. He was a Bolshevik. Does that ring any red flags? Oh, El Al avoiding sanctions with Russia. Oh, Russia hiding Jewish oligarchs to avoid sanctions in the state of Israel. Oh, so now we're getting somewhere. Oh, Israeli drones that were sold to Russia to bomb Jewish synagogues. That's what you want me to believe, right? And so the real problem is Russia and Israel, and they've always been collaborating together. Espionage, working against America. Ethel Rosenberg, Jonathan Pollard, represented by Alan Dershowitz, who blamed the America for not doing enough about the Holocaust. So Jonathan Pollard stole the most top secret documents in history and was from the Navy, I think, and he got to go back to Israel. Joe Biden let him do it. Trump let him do it. And there's something really suspicious about this going on. And so until Palestine gets free human rights and we stop being censored, just expect us not to respect any of you.